Hey guys, it's Ron Musgraves, Pressure Washing Institute Contractors First. I'm here tonight, but before I introduce them, I want everybody to understand Power Clean is the only pressure washing convention this year that's actually happening. It's the actual only, I should say, let's rephrase it, the only nonprofit industry organization that is having a pressure washing convention this year. It's in Reno, Nevada. Guys, check it out, CETA.org. It's right there. I also put the link in there. Get registered for the show. It's September 25th, 26th, and 27th. I'll be there live, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. I built a special group. If you want to talk to me about that for special pricing on it, let me know. I can get you in that group, and hopefully we can get you guys a discount. Without further ado, my friend and colleague from Atlanta, Georgia, Courtney Lee. Introduce yourself, Courtney.
What's up, man? If you guys don't never heard of me, I'm Courtney Lee. First run. I do not consider myself a guru. I didn't know what the hell a guru was. People used to, back in the day, not too often now, but guys used to say, you're a fake guru. I don't know what the hell is a guru. What are they talking about? But anyway, just for those that don't know me, Courtney Lee, I'm out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, about 30 miles from Atlanta. I'm the owner of Truman Hardwood Floor Cleaning and Refinishing. I used to clean carpets, got out of that, let it go actually earlier this year to focus strictly on my wood floors and also my coaching. I also teach and coach people how to do wood floors. Just started an affiliate program for some of my students that kind of piggyback off of my name to help build up their wood floor maintenance. And for those that don't know me, I don't sand wood floors. I don't install wood floors. What I do is maintain wood floors. I also just got into a little bit of the stone countertops, do that as well. But yeah, Ron, also too, guys, before we kick this off, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Ron. Ron actually let me do my first speaking ever in front of a real crowd. What was about 4 or 5 years ago in Destin, Florida?
How did I know that you were going to be a talent? How did I know back then?
Because Destin, the panhandle.
But you become a big rock star in this industry now, right? I mean, I saw it and I said, hey man, this guy's a diamond in the rough, because it was way back. You weren't as near as successful as you are now. I mean, you were successful, but you weren't near as successful as you are now. Speaking of that, man, and I appreciate the props, but I want to get down and show these people why I had you on tonight. Explain to people why it is, and see, here it is, these live questions, right, that only real gurus can answer, right? Because sometimes you ask this question to a guy that doesn't know what he's talking about and he can't answer it. What was the difference like? Where'd you pivot on, like when the change made? Because you were in the carpet cleaning business, right? And so you realized there was a revelation that happened. Tell me about that revelation, because maybe we can put this in somebody else's head. Somebody out there. We know there are people out there. They're not recognizing it, are there? They're not seeing it. It's right in front of their eyes, but they're not seeing it. And they always believe that everybody is their customer, and they've got to get that mentality out of their head. Because, and I'll tell my story after you tell me your revelation of it. I'll give you mine, because mine is probably very similar to yours. We always know that when this happens and you make this pivot and everything in your life changes, and it changes for the better. Go ahead, tell me what it happened.
So with me, man, I got into this industry when I was 19. I worked for like 9 different companies. I started my own when I was 27 because I had my daughter at 28. So I started the business a year earlier before I had my daughter. And for the first 5 years, man, it was the biggest struggle of my career, because I was, like most people that get into the pressure washing and the carpet cleaning, we immediately want to go to the low price because we feel like, oh, we're going to stay busy. We're going to make all this money.
And well, you got pressure, right? You got pressure. You got pressure. You had a baby, man. You were making a baby, and she wasn't your daughter, right? She wasn't even there yet, and you gotta have the stroller, the bed, all the bells and whistles. Mama's got to have all the new clothes. She got to have a new outfit every Sunday, right? I mean, go ahead.
But you know what? I would say if I would have started what I know now with more capital, some business credit, some mentorship, some classes, some better equipment, I wouldn't have had the stress that I had on myself for the first 5 years. Because a lot of the time, a lot of the stress that we have in our businesses, we put it on ourselves because we're not realizing what we're doing as entrepreneurs. We just want to go out there and just pressure wash. We just want to go clean carpets, do wood floors. But a lot of us really don't even understand the business aspect of it. We're just workers, you know. So after that, man, after 5 years of struggling to run, I just knew I had to just do something different. So I literally stopped what I was doing. I stopped serving the cheap clients. And I just really just rebuilt my business off of faith, hard work, and just, a word that a lot of us need to understand is reprogramming. I literally reprogrammed myself to forget everything that I was doing wrong and started to reprogram myself. And it started with me, because a lot of people might not know this. Until 6-7 years ago, I used to have gold teeth. It's something that we do in the South, and I had permanents. So these are veneers. So I had, working on my vocabulary, working on myself, removing my gold teeth, working on my business, because I realized the type of clients that I work for now that pay me top dollar, I knew I had to come correct. See what I'm saying? So I had to work
on. They don't want to be called dog.
Huh?
You mean you don't want to call them dog? What's up, dog? They don't want to
hear that. So I had to work on me, man, because I realized the people that was going to pay me top dollar, they were looking for a certain image. And it was a slow process. And see, that's the thing with the pressure washing, carpet cleaning industry, which I wish they were more regulated. They're so easy to get into. And anybody can get into them. You just go buy a $500 pressure washer or $1,000 carpet cleaning machine, and boom, you're in the industry. And next thing you know, a lot of us, I'm not gonna say I don't compete with that anymore, but in the way we are, because they're all a part of the industry. So with that being said, man, I just knew that I had to change me. I had to change my mindset. And I had to stop looking for that instant gratification, that fast success, and realize, true success doesn't come fast. Okay. It doesn't, unless someone hand you something, or, like you said, you got a great business, you just hand it to your child. But for most of us who have to come out the mud, it doesn't happen fast. And that's what I had to realize. So that was that was how I, got out of it. And then I just kept growing, and just opportunity, and just made something out of it.
And I saw it. You know what I mean? I saw it. You didn't know necessarily it was happening, but when I know you started approaching it, I saw, okay, he's gonna see it, and you did, and you saw it, and then little by little, you change this, you change that. When you pick up those clients that don't care about the money, and they care about, ultimately comes down to one thing, and I don't know if you know this or not: trust. That's all it is. Not just to trust you in their home, but to trust that when the product is finished, it's the absolute best that they want. They don't mind paying for the best. Those are the type of clients that want things to be as perfect as they can possibly be. Now, we're restoring stuff, right? I do a little bit of restoration too. Expectations are always good to be set, and things aren't going to be brand new sometimes, but they can be as close to brand new as we can bring them back to. And 99% of the time, we're bringing something from a 30 back to a 98%, or not even 99. I always try to tell people, I said, man, brand new is brand new. We ain't never going to see brand new again unless you want to rip this stuff out and put brand new in.
That's called setting realistic expectations. And that's what a lot of us are afraid to do. We want to promise, the world, and that's not reality, and that's why people really respect me. I mean, even my clients, because I'm a straightforward person. This ain't going to look brand new. Okay. If you want brand new, you need to replace. That's why it's a such thing as replace. Mm-hmm. This ain't going to be brand new. Even in my terms and conditions, I say you can expect a 50 to an 80% improvement. Okay. Now, if a client say, "Oh, it looked brand new," hey, that's on them. I didn't say that. They said that, but I don't use that word.
Sometimes it does come out looking brand new. I mean,
it do, but still, I still don't say brand new. I let them.
And sometimes I let them say that. Sometimes it's so bad that even a 50%
Yeah.
thing looks brand new to them because they were used to something that was a 4. You know what I mean?
Bingo. And that's
And
why with the wood floors, I've made such a name for myself because at first, man, these sanding guys, they could not stand me because I was taking advantage of a service that a lot of them guys were overlooking or they was looking down on. And I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to something like this, what a lot of people don't understand, us as pressure washers, as wood floor guys, carpet cleaners, a lot of people don't too much pay for the service itself. They pay for convenience. Let me say that again. They pay for convenience. So if I can go in there and restore their floor, like Ron said, even at 50% and make it look better than what they had, okay, in one day, where a full sanding would take 1 week. Because people tell me this all the time. Courtney, I don't want to be out my house for a week. I don't want to, they just don't want to go through that. So they willing to accept that improvement of what we do as professionals. And back to what you said, Ron, about trust, true story. Yesterday, I did a job. The guy told me that my price was, he didn't give me what the other guys charged. He said, your price was way higher than the other 2 guys. And I also charge an in-home consultation fee. I don't go out for free anymore. I charge a $125 consultation fee. If you go with my company, it comes off the back end. I asked that guy yesterday when I got to his house to do the job. I said, let me ask you a question. Why did you choose me over the other 2 companies? He said, Courtney, I'm be honest with you. I just trust you.
Yeah.
What you just said.
That's what it boils down to. Yeah. People don't realize that, and I'm not saying liking somebody's not a plus, but the number one thing I think when you're talking about these higher end people and the customers or the kind of customer that you want to attract yourself to, I think trust is number one, first and foremost. Because I can tell you right now, I've had clients that will hire me. And I don't know, man, if you've ever had the phone call. You probably haven't because you're a nicer guy than me. But I'm more realistic sometimes, and I come off a little bit, more direct, because I just don't have any time to mess around a lot of times.
I'm the same way, believe it or not.
And people go, man, you weren't, the bottom line is I'm not really positive that I like you, but my boss told me we got to hire you because he trusts you and he knows you're the guy that's going to get the job done right. They basically said, we don't like you, but we know that you're going to do the job right. And I always try to tell people that all the time. I said, the liking is a great thing, you know what I mean? But in when you're talking about a professional service contractor that's just getting stuff done and it has the right customers, that's what it's really all about. And I always try to tell people when I'm coaching people, I always try to tell them there's a trust meter, right? And when you meet somebody, it might only be at a 4 or 5, but you're trying to get it as high as you can get it on that first meeting, right? That's why they always say the first meeting sometimes is so important. And it really is, because if you start out at a 4, man, you may never sell this client, because before they're going to buy, they got to be a 7 or an 8. So you got to try to get, you got to try to make that impression upon them. And sometimes the impression isn't that they necessarily like you. It's just that you show them that you have a better product, you have a better service, and you are honest with them. Because, everybody smells the guy that overpromises everything, right? It's going to look brand new. This is going to look amazing. The other thing you cracked me up, not cracked me up, like you were saying, the guy wants to be out of the house doesn't want to be out of the house for a week. Nobody wants a contractor in their house for more than a few hours. A plumber one time did a job for me, $300 for changing a toilet, and the guy was really in and out before I could even go. It was back in the old days. Get my checkbook, and at a younger myself, I was thinking to myself, $350. The guy was only here 20 minutes, But when I had a guy do something for me and he's there for, a half a day and should have been there for 20 minutes, you're like, what in the heck is going on? And you start questioning, did I hire the right guy?
Yeah.
And
that is true, man. Because that's how it is. When I have contractors in my house and my wife is doing something around the house and he's handyman, and it just comes to the point like, dude, will you hurry me get the fuck out of my house?
Yeah. That's the truth. That is the truth. But yeah, I hope that we're going to do something in Atlanta soon. I hope you can come up and at least talk for a couple of minutes. I know you're a busy guy, and I know you like to spend your time in Destin.
Yeah, Destin, Panama City. So we actually gonna go to Destin in September. So we're gonna shoot down to Orlando next week for 4 days. Me and the missus. Then September we're gonna shoot down to Destin. We go to that Panhandle about 3-4 times a year. I love it down there.
It's awesome. It is awesome. Panama is a great place. Destin, they're very similar. Now, yeah. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Santa Rosa Beach.
Yeah, right between. Yeah.
Have you been?
Yeah, we've been. Yeah, Santa Rosa, right next to what's the other beach? Seaside. All that is right there on 98.
I like the Santa Rosa Beach because it is a private beach. It's not, it's not a public beach, and my kids love it because it's real friendly. That entire area there, like Destin, sometimes can get a little bit not too kid friendly.
Yeah.
A lot of adults. Panama City, depending on what the time of the year, that could be loaded with partiers, man. That place could be crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Santa Rosa, man, it's perfect, man. When you got kids and you got a family, I love that. I love that beach. That got turned on to me by Miss Trudy, and we've been there. We've been there now a couple times. And I should holler at you when I'm heading down there, man. You never know. You go there so often. I might be there. I might actually jump in there when you're actually there. But but no, man. I just wanted to get you on because I think that a lot of people just don't understand that, I always tell people that I choose my customers. They don't choose me, And some people don't believe that. They just go, oh, that's bull. Somebody calls you up, you're going to take, no, that ain't how it works no more. I go, when you actually figure this out, you actually will understand that you choose them and they don't choose you.
Ron, true story. Yesterday, I went and did a consultation. Brand new floor, luxury vinyl plank floor. All right. Guy called me out there and told me, give him a quote. They ended up putting some of that store-bought polish on the floor. And I gave him a quote, came out to like almost $3,000, $2,900. Well, the contractor said, well, I'm gonna talk to my boss about it. And his boss was the one that found me. So the boss calls me about 2 or 3 hours later while I'm on my project. He said, hey, is this Courtney? I said, yeah. He said, this is Billy. You came out and gave us a quote. I said, yeah, to restore the floors. Yeah, man, it was like $2,900. I said, yes, sir. Don't you think that's a little high? I said, no. I said, you're going to spend more money replacing it? He said, yeah, about $5 a square foot. I said, but I'm charging you $2 a square foot. I said, pick your poison. And to me, when he told me that, when he called to tell me, don't you think that's a little bit too high? I took it as like, how you gonna call me and tell me do I think my price is too high? So his contractor called back. Well, he asked me, no, I take that back. He asked me when can I do it. I looked at my schedule. I told him I was booked out for the rest of the month. So then his guy called me and I told him, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Your boss kind of disrespected me when he told me, do I think my price is too high? I said, at this point, I don't even want to do the job. Mm-hmm. Because again, man, I don't have to deal with that foolishness.
And you're gonna have that's the telltale sign. Sometimes it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, they're gonna be nitpicky. They're gonna find. I mean, that's why I was trying to tell these guys, man.
20% off because it just didn't come out the way you set their expectations.
Bingo. And that's what a lot of guys don't understand is that when you're in this industry long enough and you deal with people, you can pick up on certain languages and certain expressions where you shouldn't have to deal with this. And it's so sad that a lot of guys in these industries, all they look at is the money. Like they'll like one guy told me, you just gonna let go $3,000, bro. $3,000 come and go every, to me, it's not all about the money. I'm not chasing money. Because I told him, and I tell all of you guys, if you've been in these industries long enough, we all have that customer or those customers, no matter what the price was, we wish we would have never did that job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one of those people. No, I don't even want to.
The more you identify them, the quicker you can identify them, the better off you're going to be. Right. The better off you're going to be.
Yes. And that's how you know, man, when you really understand what you're doing. You can just have conversation. People can just call you and just say certain things. You like, no, this ain't the type of person I want to work for.
Yeah, sometimes my competition kills because they go, I can't believe you got a price list. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I actually had competitors call me up and said, "Man, keep giving that price list out, because when we go to sell now, they just go, we want the Pro Power Wash package number 3, and they're like, you're just making it so simple, And I always tell people that we'll start with the price negotiation, especially because we deal with commercial stuff. Lots of places have menus. They have prices, I go, I don't walk into your steakhouse that's charging $75 for a piece of meat going, hey, man, can I get that with a baked potato for $39.95? It's like, and maybe some people do. I don't know, but I've never heard of it before.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a good position. And like I said, man, no matter what way you go, like me, I went back to owner operator. I had 3 trucks, for 3 guys, and I scaled back. And I tell people, man, just understand, what you're built for. Like me, I'm not an employee driven person. One of the things is, man, I realized I was spending so much money just to keep other people working. But one thing that just don't sit well with me, Ron, is knowing that another grown man is depending on me to take care of his life. That just doesn't sit well with me. So that's why, man, I'm owner operator. And what I've done this year is start utilizing contractors to do certain jobs. Like for example, I got a sanding job going on right now. I went and checked on it today. I'm making $4,000 off of that job just by subbing it out. I got another sanding job starting next week. I want to make like $2,500 off of. One of my sanding guys finished up a job yesterday. I made like $1,000 off of it. So what I've done is, instead of depending so much on employees, now I do what I call network partners. So we network together, because I know how to market really well and I know how to get these leads. And I'll just throw my percentage on top.
It's your strength. Hey,
yes.
And
yep.
This is the future. It really is.
It is, man.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Employees suck. Everybody. I mean, I'm sorry, they do. They do, man. It's like you're the king babysitter, and
yes.
And it's like you said, grown men. I'm older now, but I was like a father. I'm 20 some years old, and I was like a father to these guys working for me that were 40 and 50 years old. I'm like, wait a minute, man, what's going on? And it's, hey, can I borrow $350 till, from my paycheck till I got to pay the rent?
Yes, man.
Hey, man, my car broke down, my minivan's broken, my wife's
all the kids. Stories.
You're financing a van, I mean,
calling you when it's slow season, calling you every day. Do we got work on the schedule? Like, dude, if we have work on the schedule, you'll see it on the schedule. Yeah. Save your money, learn how to save. Go do something part time, and that's the part that I just could not deal with, man. So like I said, now it's just me. I have an assistant, and I just do my thing with the screen and recoat, the countertops, and I sub out the big jobs. And man, I try to keep my life and my business as stress free as possible.
I have 2 assistants. That's it. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll get 2. Because that means you'll be busier.
There you go, man. So I try to keep everything in my life stress free, bro. And I just hate to say it. It is what it is. But when I had employees, man, I mean, some days I would come home. My wife like, you okay? I'm like, no, not really, because it just I just can't do it.
Yeah. I don't even want to tell you about those moments, man. Those moments of all that stress of taking care of all those people.
Yes.
It's just it's no fun. And like we might even do another show on this, because I believe that this is what's happening in the entire service industry. I see it with air conditioning companies, plumbing companies, everybody. Nobody anymore is having employees. They're even giving the guy a truck. Maybe it's got their name on it, Joe Blows Rooter Service or something like that. But the guy is not an employee anymore. He's his own guy. He's out there doing his own thing. He's got an endless amount of money that he can make. It's really a good thing.
One of my colleagues up in Tennessee, they called me 2 weeks ago, and they say, Courtney, that's what we're about to do. We're about to just sub our trucks out to these guys. They're not going to be employees. They're going to be 1099, and we're going to do a percentage, because they was like, she said, a lot of the things that are going on in the business, but she said the taxes. She said, Courtney, taxes is killing us. We're barely making a profit. So like you said, man, I really believe a lot of these services are going to go back to that more craftsmanship, especially the guys who are established, the guys who do it the right way. Because like I said, man, with the way, the world is shifting with the AI and all this stuff, a lot of, especially this new generation, they don't want to do this stuff. And people sit here and knock them. Oh, they lazy. I said, they're not lazy. Okay, they just don't want to do this, and they don't have to do this because they have better options. I mean, you give a kid an Amazon truck and 25, 30 bucks an hour, and he can put on his headphones and listen to music all day. You think he's gonna choose come working for us to pressure wash and do wood floors over there? Hell no.
Labor. Yeah, I ain't doing that, man. I'm going to take that landscaping job in 120 degrees, right?
Exactly.
Or I'm going to drive around, like you said, or work in an Amazon warehouse where it's completely air conditioned.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're right. And then you and I are both probably on that same page. College is just, I can't say it enough. I mean, that's just a lie unless you were, well, I don't even know if doctors are going to be around now. You know what I mean? Who knows later on? I think lawyers will still be. I was arguing this with somebody that wants to be a lawyer now, and they were saying, well, AI might put a hurt on that. I was like, those lawyers are going to protect that. AI ain't going to take that over. But doctors, that might be another thing, man, other than surgeons and stuff. Because
but I know one thing AI would not take over is what for a long time for what we do.
No one's gonna pressure wash or do a reseal wood floor. There's no way. Restoring wood floors, there's going to be hard labor behind that. Now, I will be first in line when the robots can do it, okay? I will buy me some robots.
Or what they'll do with pressure, and again, this, we just all talking and thinking, but they'll probably come out with some very low maintenance wood floor or pressure washer siding, but that's a long way before
Have you seen these autonomous floor cleaning machines and stuff now that they're everywhere? Are they laying all over the place?
You talking about those little robot machines?
Here in Phoenix, everybody's got them now,
man. And let me tell you something, man. They don't do nothing.
They don't do a very good job.
No, they do not.
They spread a lot of dirt around.
Yeah, it's a bare minimum. It's just a light maintenance. You still have to get the real companies to come in there and really clean those floors. So it's just to keep it lightly maintained. Just like those little robot things people have in their house. I tell people, I said, you really believe them things are vacuuming your floors?
Well, they find dog hair in them all the time. Come on.
Yeah.
And then you take your extractor and go.
Exactly.
The big old clump that's still in there,
Bingo.
It's funny. It's funny stuff. Well, hey, I don't want to take you all day. I know you got something to do in 6 minutes. You got another appointment, but I appreciate you coming on. And do me a favor, man. Don't be shy. I'm going to be online a lot more because I've made a thing to put more new content out all the way through 25 and 26. So I'm going to be on live a lot. So, man, if you got something you feel you want to share with my audience or even with your own audience and you want to jump on live, man, just give me a jingle and we can jump on live anytime.
Let's do it, Ron. Anytime, man. Anytime, brother. And again, brother, thank you again for the opportunity, man. A lot of you guys might not know, but Ron gave me my first speaking opportunity. And let me tell you something, man. I can go all day on this camera. The camera is second nature. But when to get in front of a crowd, man, I was so damn nervous. But I ended up doing well. Man. I got a lot of great feedback, and I've actually done about 4 more 6D. And so I always want to give people the flowers that have been a part of my journey and helped me in any type of way. So thank you, Ron, again for the opportunity.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And like I told you, I saw a diamond in the rough when I saw it, and I'm proud that you've gotten and come this far, man. It's unbelievable because you really have. We've just all watched it. It's a cool thing, man. And congratulations for all your success that you've gotten, man, and you earned it, man. It's a crazy thing out there, and it's just so much. It's so funny when I just hear all the people out there that they're all the guys that talk shit all the time and say, oh, they don't know. These guys don't know what they're doing. You got your haters. I know you do because I got my haters. But to all the haters out there, we love you. Because you're bringing more people and more audience to us when you do that. They don't even know that, but
they don't even know.
They do.
Yeah.
So keep hating, because we love you. We love you. And all the guys out there that are following us love us. We love those guys too. I appreciate you coming on, Courtney. Thanks a lot, man. Ron Musgraves, guys, Pressure Washing Institute, Contractors First. Make sure you get signed up for the CETA event, CETA.org, September 25th, 26th, and 27th. Have a great night, man.
Ron, talk to you later, brother.